What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another reverse 1999 video. Alright guys, for this guide specifically, we're going to be doing what I consider to be one of the best ultimate, whatever you want to call it, beginner's guide. So I've gone ahead and on my main account, which is completely free to play by the way, completed most of the content, and now I want to do a brand new account to show you guys what you should focus on and some lessons learned to help you have the best possible account. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about real quick before we get into the guide itself. I'm going to be doing short little snippets of everything you should be doing, but also at the same time, I'm not going to promote re-rolling. That's completely up to you. If you need to check out the re-roll guide, I've already gone and made one, but I'm going to go through this and go ahead and finish the beginner banner and just roll with whatever I have. The goal for me is to get Eternity again. Actually is my favorite unit in the game currently, but whatever I get, I'll stick with, and then we're going to go and jump into what you should be doing as a beginner to have the best possible start. With that being said, the reroll guide is available to you. It does take a lot of effort. If you do run multi-instances using LD Player, for example, or BlueStacks, you can definitely run numerous versions of this and get yourself, right over here you guys can see, and get yourself more chances to pull what you want, but this is the recommended way. If you don't know how reroll works, again, go check out the guide. Alright guys, this is Payne. I'm going to jump in and do some of the different stages, and I'll get back to you guys very soon. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, welcome back to the guide. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start off the game is push the campaign. Your story mode is going to be everything in terms of your initial progression, in terms of your initial completion. Everything will be unlocked through story mode. So this is the first thing you want to do, is just completely go through story mode. And then when you get to 1-4 and you complete 1-4, that will be the first time your pre-registration gifts will be sent to you in the mail. So that's going to be your first initial multi. Now you can choose to re-roll at that point if you don't get what you want, or if you get what you want, you can continue going, or if you don't get what you want, you can still continue going. This is where I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to continue pushing on no matter what happens in this case, and we're going to go to the beginner banner and complete it. So my advice to you is the following. If you're going to plan to re-roll, do this initially with multi-instances, have them all synchronized, and if you do get what you want, fantastic, keep that one account. If you don't get what you want, then you can delete all of the games except for one instance, clone them all again, right? And then restart the process again. This is completely up to you. Now, in terms of what banner you want to pull for, it's totally up to what you want to get, right? If you're looking for Sotheby, then pull for that raid-up banner. If you're looking for A-Knight, pull for that one. Or if you want to do the beginners, you can pull for that as well. There's really no wrong answer here anyways, because after the initial 3 multis that you get, after doing all this content, you will still get the beginner guide 6-star guarantee, and hopefully you get what you want, right? So again, my goal here is to get Eternity again, but I will not restart. Whatever I get is what I'll stick with, and I just want to mention that. So push storyline content first, guys, and then we'll talk about what to do after that very shortly. I'm also going to talk about combat and the things you need to look for when you're building a team, which I have a full team guide, by the way, if you want to follow that. I'll put the link in the description for that guide itself. And then lastly, you can also get yourself additional information here on the combat system. I want to talk about it thoroughly so you guys understand some tips and tricks and how it all works. All right, guys, so I'll see you guys shortly in the combat one. Alright guys, so here we are with 1-4 being completed, and if you check your mail now, you should see you got yourself a Candy Parade gift, which gives you stamina, and Pen Friends gift, which is your initial pre-registration gift, which lets you summon on what you want, right? You also get yourself Matilda for free as well, which is kind of nice. And you guys can see here the 1,800 drops. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about real quick before we get into the summon and the actual combat system is how this part works. All right, so if we go into the warehouse, you'll see there's a 7-day icon. Remember, some of these consumables are in fact time limited, so definitely use these before you use these. Now, when you go to your stamina or / activities, when you click on the jar, it automatically will choose the one that is 7 days first, so don't worry about that. I just want you guys to know that there's something up there with time limit does exist, so be careful and mindful of that, okay? So here's your first summon, guys, right? This is what you get. You get the 2,200 in total for doing all this. Now, you're guaranteed a 6 drop here. This is the 3 summons. This is what I'm going to summon on first because I do want to get one of these guys as soon as possible. Once this banner is summons one of these 3 units, it ends. the banner is over, okay? The first drop of rain is your beginner banner. So you can see here, summon 0 of 30, you're guaranteed it. Now, if you do want to go for Sotheby, or if you want to go for A Knight, you can definitely pull here. You still have the opportunity to get one of these units or another 6-star, but this one at least guarantees you the full 30. So I'm going to go with this. I'm not doing a summoning reroll system here on this account. I just want to get something and move on. So it's up to you. If you want to check out the reroll guide, I have it again in my channel. You guys can definitely go look at that and see how reroll works and what to focus on, okay? So let's see what we get first. We got a star unit here. Oh, we got Charlie. Good start, okay? Charlie's a great unit. So we'll skip this just so we see what we get here. So we got Charlie, Bunny, Twin Sleeves. Okay, so Charlie's really the prize here. Interestingly enough, got her out of the, or him out of the way, sorry. Yes, I almost called her. So from here, guys, we're going to jump into the actual combat system itself, okay? So let's go into the show, and we're going to go into the next stage, and I'm going to talk about combat and what you need to know. So a couple things to note in the combat system. First, when you jump into the initial page right here, you'll notice a couple things, okay? We're going to ignore this. First off, if you click on this icon here, you can see which units were used to finish the stage. Now, this is essential for later on if you're struggling, okay? You guys can see what other people used to complete the stages and what was the most popular units used to do so. So this icon up here, very important later on when it gets more difficult, okay? This information tab here will also just give you info about what to do and what recommendations. These goals here are what you want to pursue. Defeat all enemies, clear the round within 10 stages. If you defeat all enemies, that's obviously going to give you some of the prizes to get the clear drops, so you must complete within the 10 stages. So both of these have to be met for you to get the clear drops. Now the enemies themselves, you can see there what they are and what faction they are. So in this case, they're mineral factions, right? And you can see down here what factions work well against mineral. So in this case, Star works good against mineral, mineral against beast, beast against leaf, leaf against star, and then dark and light against each other. And there's a 30% more damage against enemies with weaker affiliates. We're going to call them affiliates. Affiliates just sounds weird. Okay, and you guys can see what the enemies do here, what moves they bring to the actual fold, so you can kind of expect what these guys can do ahead of time. Okay, so this is essentially what you want to look at. The recommendation here is level 1. Take this with a grain of salt. You can do lower recommendations all the time and be content if you have the right team setup. And then this is the recommended star. Now, sometimes you're going to have numerous factions, so you can build a team that's either rainbow, which means like different factions altogether, affiliates, or you can build like a mono one with all the same ones. So in this case, Apple is in fact stronger. It'll say right there stronger, and then we can put in someone else who's stronger here as well too. Let's put in Charlie since brand new character, and let's go ahead in here. Now, a couple things to talk about when it comes down to the actual system itself. Okay, moving. If you press this is a tutorial, so we're going to go ahead and cancel it. By clicking and canceling, you can easily get rid of your moves. When you have first melody, you can do the same thing. You can cancel by just clicking the top card here, okay? Couple other things to note. If you click on different characters, it'll tell you which cards are stronger. So if this was, let's say, a star unit, these stronger icons will go away. Just keep that in mind. It does let you know. A couple other things you want to know. Whenever you use a move, you'll get 1 Moxie. Moxie is what you see here in regards to your specials. If you're moving cards around, it's never a wasted move, just so you guys are aware, because if you move a card, right, you still get a Moxie for it. If you put a card together and you make them stronger, you actually get 2 Moxies, right? So when you're using cards, sometimes it's smarter to actually combine cards to make them, number 1, stronger, right? Because if we go back to move here, if you see the initial here deals 180 mental damage. If the caster is in status up, you do additional damage. But if you put them together, not only are you getting 2 Moxies instead of 1, but you're also doing 270% mental damage and then 60% if you have status up. So a couple good reasons to actually put cards together, right? So here, let me just show you guys without the Moxie, right? We'll do one of them. And then let's just, you guys can see here, let's actually do both of these moves here. Okay, Charlie's probably end up killing both of them with 1, there you go. And then another. Okay, so you can see there, could have done more damage if we combine the 2 cards. Now, let's show you guys an example hitting this unit here. Okay, now also, these icons here means the unit is going to attack. Okay, 1 icon means 1 attack, 1 icon means 1 attack. Sometimes they'll have a debuff icon, means they're going to attack and do a debuff. Sometimes you'll have a leaf, which means they're going to heal. Depending on the unit, that's what they do. If you click on enemy intel, you could also see the unit's buffs. Okay, you can see right there, the unit has damage bonus plus 20% for 2 rounds. So anytime you want to see what debuffs and buffs do, you can click on that little magnifying glass and instantly do that. Now remember, this is wave 1 of 1, which means after killing these 2, the fight is over, and round 2 of 20. You want to hit 10, before 10 rounds, you want to finish this to get yourself the goal of 2 stars, right? And right here, you can see here, it tells you defeat all enemies and clear the round by 2, okay? So very, very important to do that. Now, you guys can see here, this has now officially given me a 2-star. If I move this over, it'll do nothing. Okay, you need another 2-star to combine the 2 of them. I just want to show you guys how that worked. Again, you can see here Charlie got Moxie's just from moving things around. All right, now we have her special available, or his, I keep saying her, his special available. We'll go ahead and do this. You guys can see the damage this does instead. Okay, 614. Now, there's the special available. Now, if you click on it and hold it, it'll tell you what it does. Mass attack, which means it's AoE, area of effect, which means it hits multiple targets. Okay, that's what mass attack means in this game. Dispel all status up. If this opponent had the attack up, it would have removed it. POS status and counter statuses. So any statuses that it has in those categories, it will remove, and then also deal additional 300 damage to them if it does remove that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the ultimate, and then we're going to go ahead and do Apple's move here. Okay, you guys can see here, damage done. Okay, Charlie is a great unit, by the way. Amazing for killing any bosses or enemies with status up moves. Okay, so there you go. Once you get that done and you level up, you get yourself regen, which gives you more stamina, total stamina that you can get, and also increases your activity regen plus 50. So whatever you had, it adds 50 to it, okay? At the end of the day, you'll see 2 stars are fully completed. You'll get yourself the clear drops, bond up, and then whatever additional items that are RNG. You can click here to see who did the most amount of damage and what arcane skills were used to do what, okay? So very important to note at the end to see who's your best damage dealer and who to work on. All right, guys, there's a very simplified combat system breakdown and how it works. Remember, moving cards around sometimes will benefit you more to build Moxie quicker. There are different units that do different things, so hold the button down on their moves to see what they do and try to combine some cards, and you can see their ultimates, and sorry, not their ultimates, you can see what their combined versions of their cards do as well. And when you get First Melody, remember that doesn't take a turn when you use it, so feel free to upgrade cards accordingly based on where you are. And remember, different affiliations are stronger against others, so make sure you are using the proper affiliations to fight specific bosses and units. All right, guys, moving on to the next topic. Okay, everybody, so we're back on the map here. A couple things I want to talk about again here. When you hit 1/6 and you complete it, you're going to unlock a 3rd slot for a character, which is great, but you're also going to have these little icons on the map. Now, these icons play a pretty constructive role for 2 reasons. Number 1, you have to complete them in order to move on, okay? So there's going to be a couple different ones. There's going to be those ones there where you're going to see a star. They do various things like give you a character or unlock an event or show you a brand new map. Or even give you guys some puzzles, okay? By completing these events, you're going to get yourself clear drops. Now, you don't have to complete them. You can back out of them if they're too difficult. What you lose, though, is you lose 20 clear drops for the most part. So try your best to complete them out there. There's going to be a lot of puzzles that you're going to have to do. There's going to be some like word puzzles, some actual like pipe puzzles, etc. Again, if you complete them, you get 20 clear drops. If you don't, you move on. You lose out on that, okay? Now, these exclamation marks, though, on the other hand, are going to be usually things that are related to the story or a battle of some sort. So you guys can see here, this is a fixed battle. We're going to go ahead and use Bunny, Apple, and Sonita, and this is going to teach you something, and this is important to note because it's also going to show you guys the next thing I want to talk about, and that is when you finish 1/6, you're going to have access to an academic section of the game, which is going to give you tutorials on various different ways to play the combat system, as well as get yourself a ton of clear drops and an artifice for Sonita, which allows you to give her portray up, which essentially gives her ultimate an extra effect. Okay, so I just want to talk about this real quick. We're going to go ahead and finish this up. The maps and the icons are important, but remember, they are also skippable. If you do them and you don't want to complete them, just back out of it and you can move on to the next stage. So just real quick, I wanted to talk about that on the map before I talk about the actual other things you need to do. Alright guys, so we talked about 1/6. Clearing 1/6 will also unlock the beginning of the tail exercise that you can do, as well as one other exercise. So beginning of the tail is very important. This is going to actually reward you with quite a few different things by completing these. Now the first thing I'm going to tell you guys instantly is follow this right here, okay? Level up a mineral character to level 10, you get yourself some dust, a beast character, a star character, a plant character, etc., right? And then once you complete that, you're going to get yourself these rewards down here, which is going to set you up for Act 2. Now let's go ahead and do that real quick. And what you want to actually focus on, and I'm going to tell you guys the reason why here, is you want to get Sonita up, you want to get Apple up, you want to get Leilani up, and whatever at that point of your choice. So let's go ahead and do this, and I'll show you guys the reason why you want to do this. Okay, so go ahead into level, focus getting this up to 10. Let's go back here, get Apple up to 10. Let's go level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go ahead and get a Leyland up to 10, or Leilani, I should say, 10. And then here, you guys can now go back to this little icon. It'll take you straight to the beginning of the tails right here and go to that. You guys can see we got 1 out of the way, 2 out of the way, and now it wants us to do a star character to 15, a plant character to 15 as well. Okay, so let's go back. Let's do our star character to 15. So in this case, we're going to do Apple for a reason, and I'll show you the reason why. Make sure you do Apple, okay? 15, and then we need to get a plant character to 15 as well, right? So do I have a plant? I don't have a plant character right now, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see one here. That's fine. We'll get this one to 15. So once we get a plant character, we'll push that to 15 as well, and then level up 3 characters to 18. So let's go ahead and do Sunita to 18. 18. Okay, remember, I know Charlie's on your main team, but again, focus on these 3, okay? And again, I'll explain to you guys very soon why when we get there. And let's get Apple to 15, okay? And then we can stop there for now. All right, so stop here for now. So follow this pattern, complete this up, guys. Very, very important. And once I get to Act 2, I'll explain to you guys why it's important to push for that. Make sure your dailies are out of the way, of course, and your weekly activities are done as well. This will give you a ton of rewards that you definitely want to take advantage of. Now, the second thing you want to really focus on when you are at 1-6, okay, is going to be getting yourself, let's just get these out of the way. Let's get that, close this. It's going to be this section here. It's called After Class Exercise, okay? This is going to open up at 1-6. When you click on it, it's going to give you guys following things. It's going to give you Grand Orchestra, right, which is going to be something you can use as well. It's going to give you guys Clear Drop, and it's going to give you an Artifice of Sunita, which again increases her Portray, which will ultimately increase her ultimate, okay? When you go here, it's essentially a practice. But the beauty here is when you do it, you get yourself many, many different versions of clear drop. So you get 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, and then 100, okay? So I'm going to make a guide for this separately because there's a lot of folks that have been asking for it, but I just want to talk about this. Make sure you do this, guys, because this will be a lot of extra clear drops for you to use on your summoning journey. All right, so 1-6 is very, very important, and it'll open up different things that you guys will be able to do. This is one of them that you want to focus on. All right, so I'll do a different guide on this by itself, so you guys have all the puzzles solved for every single section that's available to you. All right, guys, talk to you guys in the next one. All right, guys, so once you finish 111, you're gonna have a couple things that open up for you as well. The first off is gonna be the Poussier. That's right, that's what I said. Where you fight a giant cat for resources. Now this one here specifically is going to be where you're going to farm your dust, okay? So dust is going to be what you use as your primary resource to level up your characters. You're going to need an abundance of this, guy, so make sure you are going to spend some time here. Don't do it at the lower levels. Do it later on when it becomes a lot more mandatory for dust to be used. Like level 4, 5, and 6, mostly 5 and 6 is where people are going to farm majority of their stuff. So this boss here is going to be something that you're going to have to tackle and kill anyways. So let's go ahead and do this real quick and get it done, and then we'll move on and talk about the next topic, which is going to be auto battle. Now, auto battle works a little differently in this game. It's something that a lot of people have been asking me in the comment section and in my Discord. Does auto battle exist? It does, but not in the conventional sense, where you have to still do all the battles yourself, and once you finish it, it does a recording of the battle, which is good and bad. So you are going to be forced to actually play the game yourself. Surprise, surprise. But once you complete a stage, what ends up happening is it takes a snippet of how you beat that stage and it will mimic it every single time. So there's no variables of you dying. There's no odd issues of like, you know, a crit going off at the wrong time, etc. It's literally just a carbon copy, from what I've at least seen, so somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on there, of what the battle looked like when you finished it. Now, if you level up your characters and you put brand new side cubes in them and stuff, and you come back and you want to do that level again in auto, it won't work. It'll just go back to the original completion that you did. So what I would recommend is if you have a stronger team is just do manual again. If you can finish it quicker, it'll take that new snippet, and then going forward, you can use that as your auto battle. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Got another level there. That's fantastic. And then we'll go back into the story, and I'll kind of explain to you guys how this works. Now, see, to unlock the next one, you need to do 2, 3. This is why it's important to push content, guys. You do definitely want to get the story out of the way. So This is how auto works, all right? So when you finish 111, you're gonna have the ability to now save replays, okay? So you're gonna have to go in and finish the stage and have the replay saved. So in this case, guys, I did 111 again to save the replay. Now, the way auto works is click on the stage. You're gonna have in the bottom left here, well, close to the start button, a little icon right here. It kind of shows you how to do it. If you click on this and you go to whatever you want here in terms of the amount of times you want this to auto battle. Now, it doesn't do it 4 times. It does it 1 time, but it gives you the 4 times the rewards, okay? So if I click on this, it's gonna show you guys exactly how this works, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and skip through the tutorial. Right there, you're gonna see the amount of stamina used, right? And the amount of, this is the amount of loot I'm gonna get from this. Now, the actual stage will play out like normal, right? Just in a fast fashion. You'll see right here real quick, okay? So everything is a snippet of how you did the exact same battle last time, and it's gonna play out the exact same way, so there is no variables here for you to deal with. Just gotta walk away or sit down and finish it, and you're gonna get the same loot that you would have normally got, but times 4, okay? It's RNG based the loot though, so it's not always going to be guaranteed that you're going to get what you're looking for. Keep that in mind when you're doing this. So auto system works a little differently. Again, like I said before, it's an unconventional way of using auto. It's not where the game plays for you unless you finish it. Then it just takes a snippet of the battle itself and then plays it out for you. Okay, so this is how that works. Now, 111 is a lot of the way that people end up doing the last portion of the summons for the initial reroll section. They try to get to level 5, which will reward you a multi, which you can use towards your account, and then go ahead for the reroll banner. Now, another option is you can continue going and collect enough clear drops, and then go ahead and summon using those. But a lot of people will just sit here, let auto run, get the level to 5, and then move on. Okay, so that's another option for you too. But 111 does in fact open up the times 4 that you guys can use for auto battling once you complete a stage. So that's how auto battle works, guys. There's no auto battle in the game from a traditional sense. It is only in this fashion. So I just wanted to show you guys how that worked, okay? All right, guys, moving on to the next topic. All right, guys, so 111 completed. By now, you should have a secondary official launch gift sitting in your mailbox. That's another multi right there. Go ahead and claim that. And also, right now, there's a first survey going on, which you can do as well, too. As a thank you, they'll give you 60 clear drops upon completion, plus you'll get yourself 10,000 of these coins to use towards your actual account, obviously. So go ahead and claim that as well. Now, you guys can see here I have 1,180. Go to tasks, get these out of the way as well. Collect some of these extra ones here. Now, you still have to finish up getting the plant unit. So in your second summon, you should get, hopefully you'll get a plant unit that you can level up and then move on to continue going on the beginning of Tales activities and getting that done. Now, I said before in the other section, it's important to focus on Apple, Sonita, and Lilani. Again, I'll show you guys exactly the reason behind that. Just let me get this out of the way. Let's just get these tasks done. I hate seeing red dots. I'm a freak for these kind of things. There you go. That's all done. Okay, so let's go ahead into the second summon now. Go ahead and do this now. Jump in here. Oh, also real quick, on the main screen, if you click on the character, your bond will increase. And you can also change characters by going to settings here and then adjusting the character that you want on here to someone else. So for example, if I want Charlie, put Charlie in. Now that switch is done. If you click on it again, you can increase bonds. So you can put all your characters in here and just keep clicking on them to increase their bonds. Okay, very important to do that because bond increase will give you additional clear drops and other things you can get throughout the game. So let's go ahead and do this. Interaction, that's done. Now, summon, part 2. So you guys can see 10 out of 30. This is going to be now my second summon. Again, if I get a 6-star right now, it'll take away this banner and let me focus on another. Again, no 6-star, I got a 5-star this time instead. Let's see what we get. There's another beast character. DK, very good healer. Okay, so we got a good healer. We got an extra copy of DK as well in our, oh my god, it's all beast. There's no plant units. So we got DK here, which is really nice. So we got a healer now in place and we can focus on getting the heals up. You guys can see here now, the bind account is also something you can do, by the way, and claim it. So there you go, claim this as well. And now I'm a little bit shy here of getting my third multi that guarantees me my 6-star. So a couple ways to do this next section. You guys can do the advancement in the storyline, which will get you guys enough drops, or you guys can get level 5, which will give you another 10 multis from the game itself, and you guys can use that instead of your clear drops as well too. So just wanted to talk about the second summon and what's available to you and what to check in your mailbox, and then also what to expect on the third summon. So either get the level 5 account, which is just doing the auto battles that I just mentioned, or you guys can go ahead, progress through the storyline, get enough clear drops, and use your clear drops instead to summon and save those 10 for another banner if you want. All right, guys, let's talk about the next topic. All right, guys, so this is your first plant unit given to you for free, Eagle, which is actually a very good DPS once you get through 112 and finish up the little campaign in the story. Now, once you do that, once you get Eagle, what you want to do is you want to go back to your crew, go to Eagle, and level her up, okay? So you want to get her to 18, and you'll see in a second what happens here, okay? So completing what you need to complete for your tails, beginning tails here. So go ahead and do this. You guys can see here, you get a little bit more bonus there, completes that. And now, if you click on this, you're going to go ahead and get yourself your dust, and Act 1 is now finished. Now, the reason why this is important, guys, is now you'll see here a couple of the things you need to do. Okay, so once you complete Act 2, Act 3 opens up the very important ones here that allow you to get yourself your first 5-star insight, as well as some resources back for leveling up the characters that I just mentioned. So Eagle, Lelani, Apple, and Sonita. All of those characters are going to be used early on if you want to, and all of the resources that you use to level them up will be given right back to you. So not only do you have characters that you can use right away, but you also have the resources given back that you can apply to other characters that you plan to use either now or in the future. So those 4 characters play that pivotal role, guys, for you in order to complete this. Now, clearing this stuff is fairly easy to do. We're going to go ahead and get this done, and I'll show you guys at the end how it works. So 112 will unlock a 4th slot character for you. We'll also give you your first plant character if you don't summon one for any reason like I didn't. And then also it'll allow you to finish the first act of the beginning of the tale, and it'll open up Act 2 and further ones that you need to complete after that. Okay, so 112 does play a pretty big role, so definitely push to get that done. And I think having the 4-slot character will make the auto battles even faster. All right, guys, so the last thing we're going to talk about here real quick is going to be completion of your last summon banner here. So now we have 1,820 and two tokens here. So you can do one of two things. You can go ahead and auto battle or complete to get to level 5 to get yourself 10 free tokens from the game, which allows you to summon, obviously, or you can use the clear drops here to do it earlier and get your 6-star. So I'm going to go ahead and do my earlier one here and go ahead and use these 1440. I'll get that back over time, not a big deal. So this is going to be a guaranteed 6-star summon. Let's see who we get. We got ourselves 1 6-star and one 4-star, and the rest are all 3. I'll stick with whoever it is. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so we got ourselves Regulus, which is actually good because I don't have that unit in my current account. And then we have ourselves a Cristello. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and skip this. And there's your first 6-star unit. Okay, so at this point, it's up to you what you want to do. You can re-roll, you can start the game over again, cancel it all, etc. Right? Here's my advice to you guys, okay, from what to do next. Unlock Wilderness. Finish first 16, get the storyline out of the way, unlock Wilderness, then start working on your Wilderness. Complete all the quests on the Wilderness and push that as far as you possibly can, okay? Check out my Wilderness guide. I think I did a pretty good job. My Wilderness is currently maxed out as far as it can go. And then after your Wilderness, jump back into your storyline and continue going through the campaign. That's going to be your job. While you're doing that, along the way, work on 2 things. The after class exercise, which I'll do a full guide on for you guys after I'm done, and also beginning of the tale. Continue getting all of this done. Get all the acts done. You get yourself a multi, 2 multis as a matter of fact, and then you get yourself a couple insights, and you get yourself some extra, the portray increases for her, so the artifacts for her, right, to increase Sonita. Another thing I want you guys to remember is the resources are a very big important part of the game, so make sure you are doing resources and the other 3 things that open up. Eventually you're going to open up a section here called San Matuma something. Anyways, it's like the dungeon section, right? Before you open up Limbo. Do those as well too to get yourself some clear drops and other items along the way, and continue working on that. It does expire in a day, and I'll do a full guide on that today as well too. Lastly, the other thing I want to talk about is how you want to focus on your crew. Don't level up everybody. It doesn't make sense. Pick the top 4 units that you have. You can check out my tier list, or you can go on Pridewood and check out their tier list. I'll do one very soon as well. Pick your top 4 units. Focus on those. Don't blindly just level everybody up, okay? Focus on your main DPS as your number 1 thing. Your main DPS should be your ultimate goal, is to level them up first. then your sustain, which is going to be your healers or your shielders, and then lastly, your buffers. Okay, those three are going to be your main thing, and then the fourth unit, it's up to you what you want to do and who you need to replace. But that's essentially it, guys. From there, push content, get everything going, check out the guides. I'll put a couple of them in the description. This is Payne. Hope this video was helpful. If there's anything I missed, let me know, but I think I pretty much covered it all. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.